Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we'll be doing another kit build. This one being the SECR E-Class, which is a rather nice looking 440 locomotive which I built last time. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how it printed out. I did have to do a few things just to make sure it printed perfectly fine. And that's mostly just add some of these struts, thicken a few walls here and there, and that's pretty much it really. That's for both that and that. Also for the tender, I did have to extend the bottom of it somewhat, but just because of the chassis which I'm using, which is a stripped down schools class chassis, because it's the only ready to run 440 chassis on the market, which is still available anyway, which is still being made. Because there is the Paris 4P, which you can still get, but it's a rather old and dated chassis now, and it's not. It's still, you can DCC it, but it's not. It's basically showing its age. So, to say the least. The reason why I use this chassis is, first of all, I found a cheap one. It's already damaged. The valve gear was damaged, so I figured I'm not going to use that. So, strip it down, remove all the bits I didn't need, and yeah, here's the chassis which I've got. A few other things to point out is the tender connections from the tender to the pickups for the drive wheels have been, well, I did try to use them, but they're very fiddly wires, and I decided, instead of just racking my brain with that, I just decided to get rid of them. So all power is coming from the tender, but it runs perfectly fine. You just have to make sure that you just put the power into here. But it works. I've tested it, and yeah, it runs fine in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully this should all fit nicely, nice and snugly. And I'll be painting it. I haven't quite decided. Delivery of the schools class was Southern Olive, so I'm tempted to go with a olive coloured. Excuse me, SR era E class, or I can make it one of the very lately, one of the few which did make it into a BR era, and paint it in the usual black with what is it, red lining. So I've got a couple of options. I'll probably paint an olive, just so I don't have to mess about with the wheels. So yeah, that's the plan. The first thing to do is just basically clean up all the slot and make sure it is all printed out fine and fits perfectly as well. Because there's still a little bit bowing here and there. I think a few more struts should help solve that, but it's the problem with water-based resin, unfortunately. Or just maybe how things are in general. Anyway, I'm going to stop yabbering on and just get to work cleaning up. So I'll see you in a bit. The SECR E-Class was a class of 440 tender locomotive designed by Harry Wainwright for express passenger trains on the South Eastern and Chatham Railway. It was a larger version of the D-Class, incorporating a bell player firebox. Following the success of his D-Class 440 design, Wainwright obtained authority to build a further 5 similar locomotives incorporating a bell player firebox to provide additional power. These were built at Gosport Railworks during the last few months of 1905 and entered traffic early in 1906. Once the design had proved to be successful, further orders were placed until 26 had been constructed at Gosport by April 1909. In 1911 and 1912, 2 examples of the class received boilers with superheaters, which significantly improved their fuel efficiency, but unfortunately the additional weight prevented them from working over the lines of the former London, Chatham and Dover Railway, and so no further examples were so treated. The class was used on the London to Dover and Folkestone boat trains and other Kent Coast expresses on the South Eastern Main Line. After 1914, they were replaced on the heaviest express trains by the 440L class on the lines of the former South Eastern Railway, but remained the heaviest locomotives allowed on the LCDR lines until the rebuilt locomotives took over. Thereafter, the remaining members of the class were employed on secondary express trains on these lines. In the years immediately following the grouping of the SECR with other railways to form the Southern Railway in 1923, the E-Class locomotives continued with their existing duties. The majority of the remaining E-Class locomotives were drawn during 1951, but one lasted until May 1955, with no examples being preserved, although one new E-Class build has been announced by the Brighton Atlantic project. Right, here we are with the finished E-Class now on my layout, and it looks wonderful. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. However, the running is a bit, well, it runs for the most part. However, I think I'm missing a washer somewhere, because the front bogie isn't being pressed down as much as it should be. So yeah, so like I said, it does run. A little bit jerky because I think I may also need to make the, there we go. Yeah, I think I may need to make the version which fits onto the school's chassis a bit wider, just so that it doesn't get stuck on these little lugs there. So I have got it all designed out, just need to sort out printing out some of them versions. But yeah, let's quickly show you. Yeah, on the front bogie there, the spring isn't in the right place. So like I said, I think I'm missing a washer, and I think I did see it one time ages ago. So yeah, I need to give it a replacement one at some point. So, but otherwise, it does run. But I may not use the school chassis again because, yeah, it's not one which I'm all that happy with. But unfortunately, other than the Union Mills 440s and the old, Farris 4Ps, there's not really anything else to use on the market. But I will offer this up if anybody wants to have a go at building one. There'll be both the wide versions, which will fit onto the school chassis, and the original versions, which are more to scale. So if anybody wants one, do let me know. And I may need to strengthen a few bits. But anyway, it does run. I just need to get something just to sort out that bogie. Well, not bogie, pony truck. It's annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, it only has pickups on display as well, because it's the only thing I can really get to work, really. Oh well. This may be a candidate for something which I could try in the future, which is actually make my own Union Mills-esque locos using, 3D printing to make some moulds and stuff, and well, at least to make some to make the masters for the moulds and that lot. But oh well, we'll have to have a look and see. If anybody does get make a good version of these, do let me know so I can have a look and see if I can do that myself. But for now, this is going to be it. I'll probably stay away from 440s for a little while, which is a shame because the Southern does have quite a lot of older 440s, but hey ho, can only make what works really. So expect a lot of 060s and tank engines, and maybe a few other things. But yeah, oh well. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and get it to run around a little bit. If you did like it, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, well, I hope you have a nice day anyway. Anyway, take care now, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye. And ooh, it's stalled. Come on. There we go.